Holla, what's up?
What's up, Anthony Hamilton, my celebrity life with GeHolla.
Shout out to GeHolla, reaching 1 million listeners on his podcast, My Celebrity Life, resetting the bar.
What's up, GeHolla? This your boy, Genuine. Shout out to you.
My name is Taryn Rutherford, and I am owner of Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar. So of course we're out of Chicago, so we're known for our fish and chicken. I took it and made it to where it's elevated to even more than fish and chicken. I offer grilled salmon, wonderful lamb chops, deviled eggs, peach cobbler French toast. I serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, and brunch. I'm open every day from 6:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day, 7 days a week.
So you put your foot in it, huh? You just, there you go. Take it.
I had to do a little something. I had to step it up. Raise the bar a little bit.
I can tell you look like you make some sweet water cornbread. You just look like you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Well, I am from Philadelphia. My name is Shima Fulton. I started in the restaurant industry in 1995 in Philadelphia. I brought my concept here to Georgia in 2005. I have three concepts here. One is called Baltimore Crab and Seafood. Another one is Garden Park. And the third one is Bella. Although I originally started out as seafood, I do specialize in home cooked meals and, tasty, tasty food.
I bet them greens tasting good. You like you make a good pot of greens. I don't know why, man. It's just in my spirit.
They're kale greens, not collard greens.
Oh, fancy. That's the fancy greens. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I dig a lies with you.
Philadelphia is known for food. That's all we do eat there. Originally when I started out, I was doing, the cheesesteaks, the hoagies, all that stuff. But I feel like everybody's done that. So I moved on. We have amazing sweet potato muffins. We have amazing smothered turkey and rice and gravy. So, I'm getting a little more into home style food, comfort food. Then on Garden Park, we do an amazing bottomless brunch that is really, really different from anything else in the city. We sell tickets for it. We're sold out every weekend. It's a good time.
Absolutely. My name is Ebony Austin. I am from the west side of Chicago. I have a restaurant, Nouveau, in College Park, which is 3 minutes from our airport, the Hartsfield Airport. I also have a location in Jonesboro as well, Dallas. And then I also have a vegan concept called Stir House, which is 6100 Broad Street. So, and I have Miami that'll be opening up very soon. So it's a little bit about me. Absolutely. So the restaurant Stir House is a vegan restaurant with a bit of everything, but on in a wok. So, I mean, if you think about chicken, so we have an A flavor, but it almost tastes like crab cakes. But it's amazing. So I always say my favorite is the A-Town flavor. And Nouveau is known for our seafood and grits, which comes in a 24-ounce martini glass with salmon, shrimp, crab, bell peppers, onions, and our homemade sauce. So that's what Nouveau is known for. And Stir House is known for A flavor. A-Town flavor, actually.
Oh, you did that so smooth, so cool. I know you love what you do, Didn't no hiccups at all, That's what's up.
It is Andra Hall. I'm with Kami Cakes, the owner of Kami Cakes. Kami Cakes started as a gourmet cupcake bakery out of Jacksonville, Florida, migrated to Atlanta in 2009. And over the course of almost 19 years, we have had as many as 9 stores, but currently we have 3 stores in the Atlanta market.
Who taught you how to make the sweets? You learned some good stuff from your grandmother.
Yeah, following, especially this time of the year now, we're near Thanksgiving, but following my mom around in the kitchen, but also self-taught too. Just completely passionate about baking and food in general.
I understand that. We don't need no more patty pies. You know what I'm saying? We got to come right to you. What's up? What's happening?
Yeah.
What's your most original cupcake that you made? What's something that you put together?
Original or a bestseller? So our bestseller over the course of all time, cake and cupcakes, is our red velvet cake. That's like our house staple. But I think like when we first introduced our sweet potato cupcake, a lot of people thought that was very unique and original. So, yeah.
tastes good.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I'm getting big back just listening to all this. You know.
Hi, GeHolla. GeHolla. I'm Amy Bolton Curley. I'm the creator and executive producer of A Flavor, the new show that's premiering on Fox Soul this Saturday, November 22nd at 7 p.m. And you've just heard from all of the amazing women you just heard from, are cast members on this new show that features, of course, the best food that ATL has to offer. Shawty.
Ooh, come on, what is shouting? How you like working with these ladies? We need to hear some good vibe, good information for you.
You know,
What have you tasted?
Working with these women has been truly amazing, and it's been a godsend and a blessing. You know, what's really unique is this project has been 5 years in the making. And you know, sometimes you save the best for last. You've seen the rest of Atlanta. Now Atlanta will see the best of Atlanta. We've seen the doctors, we've seen the housewives, but these restaurateurs who are entrepreneurs are self-made. They all had a vision, they all had a dream, and with the blessing of God, it has now come to fruition. And they really on the restaurant scene, they really run Atlanta. You know, one city, 6 Black women who own over 25 restaurants. If that is not God, tell me what is. We can get this done.
That definitely, you know, because if you think about it, even in our history, whether you look at slavery or if you look before our great times, even before slavery, it is the woman that has always kept the house, that turned, you know, the house into the home. You know what I'm saying? Home into the house, whichever way you want to look at it. That really put the love in it, and cooking and then baking, whatever it may be, over that stove. Would you all agree that that's your greatest way to show love too? Now, I know a lot of times we could do flowers, we could do money gifts, we could do hugs and kisses and all of that. But to really feed somebody that you love and watch them grow off of that, that's the most nurturing thing that you can receive.
I
Absolutely.
agree. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Oh, I just want to say, I mean, everybody knows COVID changed everything. So when we opened back up, prices every day, things were not available, prices were changing. Are you going to print a menu every day with new prices? So, you know, they had to give us some grace during that time. I had a packaging fee that was applied to all of my takeout orders because to go containers were like through the roof. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say, okay, people might say, well, I'm taking it to go. I'm not, you know, getting any service in the restaurant. Why should you have any service fee on this? Because again, products are constantly changing.
Right.
So they just couldn't understand that. Some people really got upset about it, but you know, it's like a cost of doing business. I'd rather do that than change my food price constantly. So I did like a service charge straight across the board for all to go orders. That was something that I did that was different.
I think also people have to understand it's not something that, you know, we uh, as a people always look at each other first, that we're doing something. You know, if you look across the board, everybody prices have increased.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Amy.
the dollar bill ain't even a dollar no more.
It's not.
Even the dollar store went up a quarter.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And food costs, but I think we have to show each other more respect and grace because we're the first to complain about something when it happens, and it's African American entrepreneurs. But at the same time, we're not paying attention across the board because those fees are applied through for everybody in all establishments,
Yeah.
not just the food space. Everything has gone up. And we want to point out what we are doing to each other, but we turn a blind eye when we go and we pay, you know, like I said, the dollar menu doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So everybody food costs went up. Don't point the finger just at the African American entrepreneur restaurants. It happens and it has happened to everybody. Don't make it a talking point and an attack point for the restaurateurs of color because it's across the board.
It is.
I just think that because we are a Black race, we get scrutinized so much more than anyone else. If it was the Cheesecake Factory, other places, no one would have anything to say. But these tariffs are eating us up. So even for myself, when I first opened up this last location, my prices were totally different. Now I'm glad that I finally went up when I did, but it gave people an opportunity to try and see. And then once I went up, I didn't have any complaints because I still make it fair. It's like we both got to eat on the price. So that means I have to take a loss, they have to take a loss, and we take the loss together. Of course, I'm not going to offset my prices for everyone to get affected, but we have to keep staying business. Rent still has to be paid, and other
Yes.
things have to be taken care of. So everything got to make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
even today, Home Depot was talking about how big of a loss. That lets you know, just when Home Depot gets affected, then it lets you know the market is definitely struggling. We're back
Yeah.
in to me, we're like back in a recession. When COVID hit, that was almost like recession. We got out of it. Now we're back in because of the tariffs, and now it's even worse. Now I feel like we're back in the market of 2008. And I think anybody who was during that time can remember what that time looked like.
Yeah. So for me, when I started, our cupcakes were $2.50 per cupcake. So, and eggs were what, $2, $3 a dozen. And now eggs are around $6, $7 a dozen. So yeah, I mean, the math got a math.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I think for me, and I think I'm the one who answered the question when the young lady asked the question. And the question was based around Black restaurant owners and grass walls. And we use that to be able to increase in our food menu items, which is definitely not the truth, right? But I think that when we try to make our restaurants upscale and we do things that looks good in our communities, which let's be real, that helps the property value go up in those communities. Then we get like, oh, well, they're charging this for a green grass wall, when the reality of it is I don't even have a green grass wall in my restaurant. But if I did, that would be my choice. But for us, it's like every time we try to do something that goes back and still brings value to certain things in our communities, they don't see the why behind that. So we'll go to a restaurant and we'll spend $120 on a steak meal and we'll never complain about it. But when we try to do something and we try to add value to those communities, and we have to make sure, when I first started Nuvo, line cooks were making way less than what they make, double than what they make. And I'm proud to be able to pay that because I understand that they have a livelihood that they need to, make sure it's okay as well. But I just think the grace is never there in our communities. And sometimes they forget that everything ain't a tax write-off for us, because not one giveaway that I've given away have been a tax write-off for me. That comes from my pocket personally and from what the restaurant has done. So I think that the grace level is just when it comes to us. Some people do understand it, but a lot of people, we're talking about a green grass wall. How much could that even cost? That's not a reason for us to go up because of green grass wall. But what is a reason for us to go up is because we want to see our team members provide out for their families and be able to pay their bills. What is, included in those prices is, everything have went up, and until you become on a national brand, those big chains don't give you real deep in food and pricing you a certain level of numbers of restaurants. So I think that it's almost like somebody who's never did a surgery trying to tell a surgeon how to operate on somebody. It's damn near impossible.
And that is when people have opinions about how we do things. I always say, show me what you're talking about. Meaning,
Absolutely.
show
Yeah,
me how
show
you're
me.
doing it. Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think another thing is that question, the way it was posed, was actually insinuating that because the decor is nice, that
Yeah.
African American restaurants charge you more because they have a nice restaurant or a nice feature. And again, none of the women in our show have a grass wall. But I think it's very important that the person knows that the first thing is paid for when the doors open is the decor. The decorator got the money and gone, so we can't recoup that property gone. So that was like
Absolutely.
that's
Never.
totally irrelevant. That has nothing to
Yep,
do with the cost.
absolutely.
That has nothing to do with the cost of food. Nothing whatsoever. The two should not even be in the same. It's just like, some parents used to say, well, the more you cry, the less you pee. Well, guess what? That water don't come from the same place. Your tear ducts and your kidney, they don't
Yeah.
have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
So, sometimes people want to make a statement, but they don't know how to make a statement. They don't want to be a part of the conversation. They want to create a conversation to become relevant. Well, I know we're popular and we're relevant. So if you got to get your 5 minutes of fame by trying to be derogatory towards African American women who are giving back in the community to make yourself relevant, if that's what you think will make you a star, not on our platform. We're bigger than that. We
Hey,
are.
that's a cool way to respond. So I agree with you. I'll be looking at now a lot of people doing like food reviews. They'll go on people's spot. They won't tell them they're coming, and then they'll do something negative. Or even if they don't like it, that's their choice. But then they will go and just post it. But they will never talk to you guys, the owners, the cooks, or anybody, just to get their their viral moment and online. And I think that's very interesting that why we do that to each other when, like, you all know, how many times have McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whoever else have messed up your food in your order and you still go back there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you don't complain about the cow on the billboard. And by the way, the cow on the billboard is very expensive. Billboard is one of the most expensive advertisements you can buy.
Yeah.
That cow been on the
Absolutely.
billboard for about 10 years. And the line at
I,
Chick-fil-A wraps around.
I
They make
think that, yeah,
they don't open on Sunday. No, I'm joking.
right. I think, to add to what everyone is saying, I think what disturbs me most about the world of social media is that we no longer give people a chance. I had a viral video that went, and it just went viral. The lady didn't have any followers from what I saw. And she complained. She had a legitimate complaint, but you didn't even give me the opportunity to make it right. As soon as I saw it, I called her immediately. And she instantly wanted to be mad, but yet you took the food home. We gave it to you for free, like all of those things. But she never came back and tried to say, you know what? I apologize. The owner did come back and make it right. Like nothing. I mean, and this is what now the social media world does. You
Yeah.
do something they don't like, they instantly want to eat you up, talk about you, be mad. As a matter of fact, a couple of my employees told me, yeah, it's on TikTok where it's saying that if you don't like some at Panola, you can get it free. My first
Mm.
month, the first month that I opened, I lost $30,000. And I lost it because I willingly gave it away because if my food is right, I should have to pay. I do think is that meet me halfway. Sometimes people are so they'll eat the food, then want it for free, and they're never
Mhm.
satisfied. We're just in a very like dysfunctional
Time.
social media. Yeah, we really are.
Mhm.
And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know all of the things that we have to do in order to make things right. So yeah, that's just my thought.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people try to categorize the women based on what they see that they have. Well, everything that these women, and including myself, that we have, we've worked for.
Yeah.
Everybody, we've put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and long hours. So the fruits of our labor, if we try to enjoy them, then we are even chastised for that. You thinking, well, I paid for that. No, you didn't pay for that because you came here to support me and bought one chicken wing. I paid for that with my blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? We're grateful that you
Absolutely.
come by, but
Yeah.
don't look where we are now. Look at where Andrea was 20 years ago, or Shima 30 years ago, or Ebony 10 years ago, or Darren when they first came to Atlanta and
Mhm.
opened. It's a process. And the
Mhm.
Bible
Absolutely.
tells you that he will give you, he has faith. If you have faith of mustard seed, he will give you and grant you your desires and your wishes, but you got to work for it. And
Mhm.
every woman on our show has earned that. And that's what was very important to me when I was casting for the show. I wanted people to understand that these are real restaurateurs. Even if the show goes away tomorrow, next week, they still will have 25 plus restaurants in the Atlanta market. This is how they make a living. You know, we're so accustomed to seeing people on TV floss and things that they just create to be on TV. These women created brands. This is their lifestyles. This is their livelihoods. They've put in the work. And I want people, if nothing else they take away from this show, is that if I decide that I want to do something with my life and turn my hobby or my passion into a reality, looking at these six women, I know that it can actually happen.
Yep.
That's powerful, and thank you all for saying, giving those messages, those gems, those lessons out. Because I think everything is important as far as what we leave, as for our legacy, our thoughts, our energy, our essence. Because the generations after us, no matter how much money you do have, how much fame you do have, they're gonna have to have some type of guidance. And like you all know, there was a time where they still have libraries where you could go to a library, you could read about somebody. Now we have the internet, and this is very powerful because I look at it like you're casting your legacy, your life in a bottle, so to speak, upon the internet. And one day it's going to be beautiful Black women such as you ourselves that's going to discover you. Even if it's 100 years from now, technology will only change form, and they'll begin to understand what it's like to run a business, being who they are and where they come from. So thank you for that powerful message that you all have given.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, G. And just want all your followers to know that A Flavor has a lot of things to offer to the viewing audience. Not only do you see these powerful women doing their work, you see how you get a glimpse into their personal lives, and you see that they have the same challenges every day that you do. They're mothers, they're daughters, they are providers, and not when I say providers, I don't mean just for their households. When they have employees that and that they are taking care of families and providing opportunities and platforms for families to survive on. And I want people to know that the show is just not entertainment for us; it's life. It's real, true life. Like I said, this has been 5 years in the making. Most importantly, when we debut this Saturday on Fox Soul, you will see there's going to be some highs and lows and some laughs and some tears because that's life. We all experience. And everything about our cast is real. We're not making up anything. Whatever you see is real. We didn't have to invent any stories. The only thing that we're inventing is history. We're going to create a new legacy in the Atlanta market, but the world will be able to enjoy it. And that's with the A Flavor Food Festival.
I think for me, being on the show is bigger than me, is bigger than any of the cast members. I think what it will do is show women all across the world what can be done and what impossible now looks like. So when I think about it, in all honesty, of course, I'm excited, I'm humbled, but most importantly, I know that the assignment is way bigger than me. And so because there's an attachment to God, I feel like it's my duty to show the world what you really can do when you trust Him.
I agree with what Ebony said. I come from a different time when there was no internet, there was no social media. You had to kind of figure things out. Things weren't in your face. You could just talk to Chat GPT, get answers to things. So for me, it's a little more difficult to expose my life, to be public. I've always been behind the scenes. So it's a sacrifice for me to even let people see my world, how I interact with my family, with my children. But I do think it's important because, just like Ebony said, people will look at us and say, I can't believe that, she was able to do that. I can't believe that they live that way, or they're able to afford that, in the restaurant business. So it is going to show another side. So I think it's important to just be open to exposing my life now.
Just when you're revealing yourself, I think that it helps you learn a lot about you. It helps you grow, whether it be good or bad. The lessons that I've learned it's been great. I have peace, I have joy in my heart, and I just appreciate all of the ladies and what they bring to the table. I think they're all powerful. I think their morals, their values. I think Amy did an amazing job on bringing us all together because although we're all powerful women, we still have different personalities. And it makes it where we can actually learn from one another. And then we come together and create this great food festival. So, it's just a lot of positive things, not only among us, but others will be able to get just seeing the reality, and it's genuine, real reality, whether it's good, ups and downs, whatever it is, they'll be able to say, okay. Because the thing is, in this reality world, it's so much fake, it's so much ignorance, it's so much
Oh God.
arguing among Black women. I can't stand that because we're much more than that.
Right.
And I don't like the fact that we're always looked at in that light, an angry Black woman. Well, we're not always angry Black women. And let's be clear, if we are angry, trust me, it's for good reason. Because when you're in this industry, you
Yeah.
have to have, you got to have some dicks and some balls, as Kechia would say,
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta
because
have
we
grit.
are women. That's from the words of Kechia. So the OG, she said it herself. So that is
Yeah.
very true. It's like you have to be stern. And in those times, it'll make other women, young ladies, little girls be able to say, wow, that is so awesome. I'm sure every last one of us that's on this show, we're going to be able to reach at least 20 women. And it's going to be such an impact. Years down the road, they'll be able to say, hey, I was watching this show and it made me look at reality TV so different that it was impactful. And that is why I respect Amy so much, because she would not go outside the box and make us be ignorant. She made us all look like we are strong, beautiful Black women that are flawed, but still have success.
Well said, Terry.
Yeah. Well
Thank you.
said.
Yeah, like Amy said, this project started 5 years ago, and 5 years ago, my life looked totally different than it did the last time she reached out to me. And when she did reach out, I didn't reply because I said, Amy, I'm not in a position to expose myself like that. I don't like to read reviews online regarding Cami Cakes, and so because of what they do to my heart, and so imagine comments that people would make about me, and the most precious thing in my life is my daughter. And so I just felt like I was at a very fragile time that I just didn't want to expose myself in that way. But I'm glad I listened to her. I trusted her, and I'm so happy to be a part of a cast with 5 other amazing women. And we're gonna see what it do, make it do what it do, I guess, at this point.
The only thing I want to say is please tune in. My mother used to say, don't judge a book by its cover. Open it and read a page. You
Yeah.
might learn something.
I
So
agree.
put on
Amen. Well said.
put on Fox Soul Saturday, 7 p.m. You're definitely gonna be not only entertained, but you're gonna learn something as well.
Right.
And GeHolla, we just want to say thank you so very much for allowing the ladies of A Flavor, because we got power, we got plates, and we about to make some profit.
Right. And y'all all divine and fine and right on time. You know what I'm saying?
My name is Andra Hall with Tammy Cakes, and I'm on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla.
I'm Amy, and I am the executive producer of A Flavor, and I am on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla. What up, Shawty?
What's up,
Hi.
guys? It's your girl, Ebony Akira. I am at Nuvo, but I'm on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla. Y'all check him out. Super dope.
Hi, I'm Taryn with Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar. I am on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla.
And I'm Shima from Baltimore Crab and Seafood, and I'm on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla.